To truly understand a person's story, you have to start at the beginning. These stories began in seemingly hopeless situations, but they show no matter how your story begins, there can be hope for a happier life. When Beth was a little girl, happiness was hard to imagine. Her childhood was filled with addiction, chaos, and neglect.
I felt like an inconvenience because my dad was a drug dealer. My first overdose, I think I was 3. I guess I found something on the table and I took it, and it was rough.
Melvin shared a similar childhood. There was no one protecting him. He was neglected and abused. In fact, as a kid, he never even had a birthday party.
I grew up in Detroit. There was 12 of us total. I was physically abused, sexually abused, and my only thought at that time was not even to grow older, just get bigger so I can stop the abuse. I became more physically aggressive. I thought that was how I would defend myself. I didn't feel that I had the words or the vocabulary to talk to a person, to back a person up. I became violent.
Beth found herself repeating the cycle of her parents, met a man who also drank, smoked, and used drugs. She had 4 kids by the age of 26.
It wasn't that I started drinking when I was, 12 and never stopped until I was 39. It was the binging. It's when I did drink, I did not stop. I could not stop. It wasn't until 39 that I actually hit my bottom. You have these momentary glimpses of, reality where you have to hurry up and get high to get rid of them because reality is really painful. One time I remember the kids getting up for school, and we were still up in the basement when the kids got up to get ready for school, and we were still going when they got home from school. And that was when it kind of started to hit me that it's out of control.
Beth went into treatment and found the help and support she needed.
When I met Beth, she had been in recovery about 3 years and was doing really well. She didn't know she was doing really well, but she actually was doing really well. The way we survive trauma is we put it away somewhere. So each part of us that needs to heal has to open that traumatic wound and face what it really was all about. We cannot take everything on at once, but people who are willing to settle down and make today a better day are the ones that will crawl their way to the top.
I think my bottom was choosing hospitalization and incarceration over freedom. Because in my heart, I wanted to feel I just couldn't feel. I couldn't cry. There was no more tears left in me. And I wanted to change that.
While serving time in prison, he discovered the healing power of therapy.
I was incarcerated, so I started taking anger management groups. Then that was over. I started taking impulse control groups. And I was relating to everything everyone in the groups were saying. And there was this one particular therapist. Every time I seen her for like 4 years, she would ask me, "Have you ever been abused?" And I said, "No, why you keep asking me that?" So it kept on, and finally one day she asked me and I told her. And I couldn't stop crying. I realized that all the broken relationships and non-healthy friendships was the result of the abuse.
The hardest thing for a person who is going through mental health or has some sort of addiction is the realization that they have a problem. People may have too much pride to accept the fact that, hey, I need some help, things are going wrong. The reason I knew Melvin wanted to change was he had a plan. He was motivated from the start.
Society has been very judgmental towards people with addiction because it's all been this underground thing. Nobody wants to step up and talk about some of the behaviors. The shame comes from the things that I had to do, the places that I had to go to get my dope, the people that I hung around with, and some of the things that I did.
Both Melvin and Beth are now helping others on the road to recovery by sharing their stories, by being an inspiration to others on the journey, and by showing that a better life is possible.
Today, I am a recovery support supervisor for a recovery network in my home area, and there's no better feeling than to see the light go on for somebody else.
I really couldn't be any more proud of my mother. She got out of treatment, she had nothing, and she slowly but surely has built herself into just a successful, prosperous, inspiring, helpful woman. And if she wouldn't have gone through what she went through, she wouldn't be where she is today.
I'm working in mental health. I'm a certified peer support specialist. Not only have I sat across from someone and told them I know where they've been, every day I share parts of my story with them. And they be shocked and they want to know, well, how did I get here? Well, I got here the same way you going, taking step by step, day by day. I love me like I loved me when I was 6. I love me because I know I can do things and what I'm capable of doing. And I'm happy. I'm happy, yeah.
Knowing that I've changed and that I'm a survivor and that I have turned my life around feels amazing. It's a miracle. It's nothing short of a miracle.